Yeah, hi there, and I'm taking a look at your paragraph for TOEFL Independent Writing. And I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. So in your case, you already have a thesis, right? And based on that, you're going to develop a paragraph looking at one of the support points. And the point is how automobiles provide more independence for people who travel. That's what you're focusing on here, right? So the thing is you're only focusing on a paragraph, right? Okay, so you say to begin with, comparing, I'm going to change this to compared to other public transportation. I would take this and say maybe methods. The automobile is a more independent way for traveling because it depends not on the departure time and the locations of stations. Yeah, I think since people are driving their own cars, which could, the problem is that is a fragment. So you definitely don't want to do this in academic writing. You have two dependent clauses. So we have to fix this problem. So maybe people who are driving their own cars can depart. I'm going to use depart as a verb whenever and wherever they want. So now you no longer have that problem. For instance, I'm going to say during a holiday, I wanted to go to Shaoguan for traveling. But you might say my only option was an hour high-speed train. Then you might say, therefore, I bought the ticket and the departure time was 10 in the morning. However, that morning I had an emergency. Put here in that. It's kind of like in as much as I forgot to hand in my final report to my professor, and it was the last day. Maybe change this here. You might say undoubtedly I would say undoubtedly I needed to turn in my final test first. So I went to the university in a hurry because I still wanted to catch up with the train. Unfortunately, since the railway station was I'm going to say so far, not too far. It was so far away from my university, which would take me another hour. Once you say hour, you don't have to say another one. Just say another hour to arrive. I missed the train. Then you might say, unlike other methods for traveling. Now, what I want to do here is I want to take this idea and personalize it a little bit. So had I taken a car I would not have had to worry about the time or a place, and I would have easily been able to turn in my project and get to my destination. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this. Let's go back here. So what I did here is I'm trying to take what we're saying here and tie it back to your experience. That's why I said, had I taken a car, I would not have had to worry about the time or place. And I would have easily been able to turn in my project and get to my destination. And what is more is probably a little too informal. I'm going to say something like, in addition. People can, if there's an emergency, people can just change or cancel their trips without any loss of money. Thus, the automobile is a more independent method for traveling. Because the time and the place of departure, I'm going to say can here, can be decided by the people themselves. So overall, you actually have a very nicely developed paragraph. I got rid of just a few minor things, and I had to make quite a few grammatical corrections, but overall, the depth of your ideas is actually quite strong. That's a good thing. Yeah, let's see how many words we have here. You're way over 100, right? You're at 243 probably, so the paragraph is a little bit big. Okay, let's take a look at it one more time. So to begin with, compared to other public transportation methods, the automobile is a more independent way for traveling because it depends not on the departure time and the location of stations. People who are driving their own cars can depart whenever and wherever they want. For instance, during a holiday, I wanted to go to Shaoguan for traveling, but my only option was an Atware high-speed train. Therefore, I bought the ticket and the departure time was 10 in the morning. However, that morning I had an emergency in that I forgot to hand in my final report to my professor, and it was the last day. Undoubtedly, I needed to turn in my final test first, so I went to the university in a hurry because I still wanted to catch up with the train. Unfortunately, since the railway station was so far away from my university, which would take me another hour to arrive, I missed the train. Unlike other methods of traveling, had I taken a car, I would have easily been able to turn in my project and get to my destination. In addition, if there is any emergency, people can just change or cancel their trips without any loss of money. Thus, the automobile is a more independent method for traveling because the time and the place of departure can be decided by people themselves. That's it. Now the question is your score here. The main concern for me in your writing, it's you understand how to organize ideas and all of that, but you do have some word choice problems, some sentence formation issues, right? So that's kind of the main idea. So that's the problem. I'm gonna put you at 3.0 out of 4 or 20 points out of 30 on this. So I'm going to say 3.0 out of 5, 20 points out of 30. Or if this had been the midterm exam, the question is, what would your grade have been, right? So let's look at the syllabus for fall. And let's take a look. Let's see what we have. I'm going to take a look at it right now. Okay, here it is. So I'm on page 7 of the syllabus. So 3.0, this is going to put you at 76%. So if your whole essay looks like this with all of these errors, at least on the midterm, I'll probably have to put you in the 76 range. So you have to worry about right now trying to eliminate some of those errors in your writing. But what can you do exactly? What are some things that might help you, right? Okay, so let's go to the writing section, or maybe the grammar section is more important for you right now because you understand the concept of organizing. So we're not going to worry about the writing. Okay, grammar. It'd be a good idea for you if you haven't done it. Take the grammar diagnostic pretest. See if you can figure out which of these lessons you need to focus on the most. Now, based on the sentence that you wrote, I'm going to say sentences with adjective clauses. I would definitely look at that. That's probably a good one. I think count, non-count nouns, lesson 16. Take a look at that. Lesson 25, fragments. Take a look at that. I think lesson 26, sentence variety. That's a good lesson for you right now. And maybe, let's say, being more concise, lesson 27. So take a look at those lessons, which will help you to develop a little bit stronger writing proficiency. And thank you for doing the practice test.